when you were introduced, Bob named Monzo, Hagler, I think, and how does it feel, for your promoter, for other people that mention you in the same breath as, Hall of Famers?
It is a great compliment. I mean, coming from Mr. Arab, who's look at all the world champions, all the fights, everybody he's promoted. It's awesome to be put in that category. Me personally, I feel I got a lot more to do. A lot more to prove out there, a lot more goals to set. And once we accomplish those, then hey, if that's where I fall at, then I mean it's awesome, and that is my goal. The main thing is when you start off boxing, your main goal is to become a world champ. Once you get to world championship, thinking be the best fighter in history when you're a pro, realistically, you're not really thinking that. You're thinking world championship first. But once you get them belts, then it becomes reality. Now my goal is already to be the best middleweight or be mentioned with them guys. And, now that's another goal that I set. And we got, my opinion, a lot more proving to do.
Jack, did you say anything to Joe Calzaghe afterwards?
No, I didn't say nothing to him. So he, like I said, that was a lot of hype. And he's a nice guy. He came up with one of the fights, and he shook my hand. That was all.
Enzo's a hell of a guy. He really is. He's a funny guy, hell of a guy. Gary Lockett had to go to the hospital because he was having a slight vision problem, so they wanted to check it out. Any other questions?
Kelly, with Oscar De La Hoya really starting to show his age and Floyd Mayweather allegedly retiring, do you recognize the opportunity available to you to sort of step in and become sort of the premier American star in the sport?
Yeah, right now there's, like I said, it has to be other fights. Right now they're mentioning me in that category, but I think it takes a lot more in boxing. I mean, I fight 2 times, 3 times a year, and I do set, a fast-paced, exciting fight. I throw a lot of punches around, but to really get me to be put out there and get boxing back, you need the big fights like the Cotto Margarita fight coming up. That's great. That's going to be a huge, huge fight. That's going to get people watching that, and that's going to be an entertaining fight. When you keep getting those type of fights, then that's when it really, you really start getting it out there, and people really start getting interested in either Cotto, Margarita, me, whoever, and that's how you get people into the stands. Big fights now, and it's been happening. If you look at the last year and a half, there's been some really good matchups in boxing, and a lot of the top guys fighting the top guys. So, I mean, I think that's one of the ways you got to go.
And if we're successful making Kelly and Calzaghe, believe me, that fight is going to dwarf anything that has taken place or is scheduled for this year. That's going to be a monster.
What would it take to make that happen?
Well, I'm talking with Frank Warren. He's been being inducted into the Hall of Fame tomorrow in Minnesota, and we've been talking for the last few days, I have to say the talks so far have been very productive, but we'll see. We'll see. He has to consult his fighter. Joe Calzaghe has never ducked anybody, and he has to. We have to see if we can put it together. But I am very, very optimistic that this fight can happen on October 18th.
Wow!
Sweet.
What weight would you consider having that fight?
Well, all that'll be decided to satisfaction of both camps. I don't want to. Let's first get everything done. I don't think the weight issue is going to be any problem whatsoever.
Heavyweights.
That's all I got to say about that.
I'm sorry, don't snap that camera, I can't hear him.
Categorize East Coast fighter. Do you think it's just geography that makes you that way, or the way you fight, or a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both. Personally, people call me dumb or say I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't really ever consider how people consider Youngstown, Ohio, really Midwest though. If you look at it, it's real close to the East Coast. So But no, it goes both ways. I mean, first of all, Youngstown, you know, all the East Coast, Philadelphia fighters, everybody, you know, you could categorize, you know, put it that way. There's just, yeah, it goes both ways. I don't know how to answer that question. My style is I just go out there and fight. You know, I really never looked at an East Coast fighter or West Coast fighters or, you know, Southern fighters. I never copied any styles. I just, from the time I was 9 years old and I got in the ring, I just threw punches and, you know, picked my own style. So, I mean, if that's how people want to put me in that category, you know, I guess, I mean, it fits. So, yeah, it goes both ways.
Kelly, you mentioned heavyweight. Is that something you realistically want to do? Fight in the heavyweight division?
Yeah, when I retire and I'm off for like 4 years and I'm sitting on a couch, like 300 pounds, and then say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go back and fight. So I think that's when it's like, you never know these days. I mean, if you know reality, if you look at it, though, most of your best heavyweights came up from middleweight. You know, Chris Bird, Evander Holyfield, all them guys, Roy Jones, James Toney. So it happens, but that's not kind of out of question right now. It's not reality right now.
Talk about some of the knockdowns. Did you feel you had him hurt at a particular time?
Yeah, the first round I hit him with a good, it was like a looping right hand, and it caught him kind of right on the ear. And I seen him get hurt a little bit, and he did a smart thing. He took the knee, and but after that, you know, I hit him with, I made him miss the one punch, and I came back and threw a quick right hand and caught him right on the chin. And he took another knee, and he was hurt from those. And he did a smart thing. I mean, instead of like really getting hurt and staying there and trying to fight while he was hurt, he took the knees. And I wasn't expecting Enzo to throw the towel. I mean, Gary was getting ready to get back up again, you know. But I knew a couple of times I hit him. Some of the body shots I think really hurt him too. You know, that first knockdown could have been a combination of the right hand I threw to the body, or it could have been the right hand over top. But you know, it was just hurting him pretty much everywhere. But I tipped my hat to the kid. He kept getting up. He kept coming back to fight, and he's a road dog. He's a tough, pretty kid.
Kelly, not a question, but a statement. Continue to give God the glory.
Yes, I do. I did again tonight.
Kelly, what are your thoughts on fighting in Wales if that doesn't wind up what the fight is?
You know, I'll fight. I mean, my thoughts don't really have a say. But, you know, that's why I go and fight. I'll go over to Wolves as long as HBO comes and the whole world gets to see it, you know, because pretty much over there you really got to put the guy on a stretcher to get a decision or hurt him. I mean, we've seen fighters go over and look really good and not get a decision. So as long as HBO or a big-time network that people in the States and everybody can see, you know, that's another option. But once again, that's something that Bob would have an answer. And, you know.
Kelly, despite how good this fight was, you got good work, you didn't have to do a whole lot. Do you see if there might be something you have to work on despite how quick it was?
Yeah, you know, like I said, in the first round when I got caught with that overhand right, I knew it was coming, but he wasn't, when he was hitting me on the hands, you know, I really didn't feel much, and I kind of got a little lazy, you know. But that's something that we got to work on in the gym and, you know, go back to the drawing board. And every time I get lazy, Jack pull out a wooden stick and smack me with it, so I bring my hand back up.
Hey, Kelly, one of the main things people in Northeast Ohio were asking me coming here were, what trunks is he wearing? Because you had the steel-colored trunks, and you had the Ohio State and Youngstown State. Can you talk about the trunks that you picked for this fight?
Yeah, actually, we went with some, you know, like you said, we go Youngstown State, Ohio State, all different trunks. These ones for this fight it wasn't so much just because we were fighting a kid that wasn't from the United States. You know, it was more than that. First of all, I have a buddy that's in the Marine Corps. He's been there for 13 years. I've had a buddy that fought with our team that got killed over in Iraq by a roadside bomb. And I think right now with all the politics going on and, you know, with the Democrats and the primaries and everything's kind of, all the attention was taken off what's still going on. These young kids that are over there, 18-year-old babies, you know, 19-year-old babies that are over there just putting their lives on the line and going in a boot on top of that, you know, fighting Gary. I just thought that maybe it was time to go in there and show them that somebody's still out there. You know, I'm not doing anything near what they're doing, but I'm still going into a fight and somebody's still out there that appreciates what they're doing. And that's why we just didn't go with, you know, the Marines or the Navy. We went all of them, you know, the Coast Guard, the Air Force, Navy. So I just thought that it was, you know, bring some attention back to them and let people realize that they're still over there putting everything on the line. And while we're sitting over here worrying about, you know, who's going to get elected. So.